City Hall was the northern terminus of Manhattan. When they built City Hall, they had limestone on the front and just regular brick on the back because they didn't think anybody would go behind and see it. So they put the cheap brick on the back.
Back on the fix. We saw this many, many times at the Open. A lot of players struggled with the coffin bunker, couldn't always go where they wanted to go, the direction they were trying to go in. And yet we saw some of this too. Bill Haas at the postage stamp. Yeah, it can be done. How do you do it? Well, you all are struggling with it. I want to share just a little insight that Seve Ballesteros passed along about how you're going to take this club back. Now, look, we all know that when we grip this club, we want to open it up. And the reason why is we want to activate this part of the club called the bounce. That's the part that's going to help us get these shots out. And if you saw those shots on the bunker cams, you could see how open they had the club face. But what happens to many of you is when you get set up and you open up that club face, you take the club back and you, in effect, close the club face by not levering the club properly so that you can create a cup in the wrist. I always talk about trying to bow the wrist in the full swing. What we want to do is we want to cup this wrist in the bunker. And what Seve said was when you take the club back, he wanted you and I want you to take the club and point it down to the toe line. So you want to feel like you're standing the club shaft straight up and down. Take the club back and stand it straight up and down. And what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit more cup to that wrist. And when you do that, you're going to get a little bit more bounce in the club. And that's going to allow you to swing down and get this ball out of the sand very easily. So as we get in here, open that up and then just rehearse, feeling that that club is pointing straight down to the ground right at the toe line. When I start pointing to the target line, that's when the wrist starts to bow a little bit, and that's when we start closing the club face. Now, the other thing I want you to remember is when you get out of the sand, I want you to just pound those shoes so that the sand is not trailing you and going to the green. Now, let's go over here to the hitting area and get an understanding of how we're going to do this. So, let me get another alignment stick in here, just so we have a point of reference. I'm going to put this down here like this. Get set up. And now all I want to do is feel like I'm just going to take that club and point it straight. That's a great angle. So when I take the club and do that, you can see how straight up and down that club shaft is. When I start to get the club shaft in a flat position, now I'm effectively closing that club face. So we get in here like this and swing right through. And what you'll see is this ball is going to spin right back. Look at that ball spin back. I want to show you that again. It's pretty neat. As you start to practice this in here, this is one of my fun little things is I get it into that net. It hits it and that spin just lands down, pulls it right back. So we open that up, rehearse this. Watch this spin right back. That's what's going to happen. Now, listen, next week we told you we're going to be outdoors at 6 p.m. at Baltusrol. I've got some more tips for you that I'm going to share with you, and those tips are going to come right from Seve Ballesteros. These are the things that he did to be successful. We want to make sure that you understand how to do that. When we come back, well, my final swing thought, don't go anywhere. July 4th weekend, why wouldn't you want to have a little fun? We're all having fun. I know you had some parties, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hey, it's a major holiday, and July is Major Drills Month, so we're dealing with Major Champions, how you're going to improve your game with Major Champions. First, Bobby Jones, 13-time Major Champion, Ticker Tape Parade, Grand Slam 1930. We're going to talk to you about some tempo and a trigger. We're also going to look at 14-time Major Champion Tiger Woods, talk a little bit about hip depth, how that hip depth is going to help you impact that ball properly. But Jack Nicklaus, the greatest Major Champion of all time. What a golf swing, what rhythm in that swing, and something I know is going to help you improve your game. Let's look at this motion. And it is a beautiful motion. Good setup position, high hands, great balance. Always had a good motion and good bounce. Look at that lower body activity, uses the ground really well. Something that I know is going to help you, but primarily what I want you to pay attention to in Jack's swing is what he does with his hands. Watch how high his hands are in both directions. Very, very vertical golf swing. Something he learned from Jack Grout. Take it up to the top and let's stop up here. Stop it right up there. That's brilliant. And I'm just going to draw a circle right around his hands right here. Now, when he comes down into the strike, as he comes down into the strike, watch where his hands finish. They finish right back in that circle again. That's what we want to do. We want to have our arms and hands working on the exact same plane.
If you ever get to watch me hitting the tee shot in the first playoff hole at the 2007 Open at Carnoustie.
On the tee, from Ireland, Warwick Harrington.
I'm under a lot of pressure, but what you'll notice is how much I'm moving. I'm waggling my hands and club, I'm dancing with my feet. Old school stuff, but this is how you ease pressure. A lot of movement before you hit the golf ball helps with the fluidity under pressure. I'm Padraig Harrington, and this is my full swing special.
Back on the Golf Fix, Major Drills Month continues. Here's Golf Channel Academy coach Cheryl Anderson.
When you watch the major championships, you can clearly see that the professionals have to deal with a lot of thick rough. And what's even more challenging is they're going to be faced with so many different lies. I want to talk to you about 3 of them. The first one is a teed up lie. This is the one that we all want. Basically, you could treat this just like you would if you were in the fairway. Expect the ball to roll out a little more, so maybe play to a front yardage. I can even hit a hybrid shot out of here because the grass won't interfere with me at all. The next lie that I'm going to have is more of a half-up lie. So the grass is going to interfere with the club and the ball a little more, so we're going to need to steepen our angle of approach. And we're going to do so by opening up our stance. That gets our weight a little more in front of the ball on the left side, even stand a little closer to the ball. And I also like to open the club face up because the rough can grab the club and turn it over and make it go low and left. So keep that club face open. Use that open stance. It'll come right out of there. And lastly, the lie that we hate, that submerged lie. You're gonna have to take your medicine. Take a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. Do exactly what we just did for that half-up lie. And give it all you got. Boom. So play those lies like that, and you're gonna find out that the rough is not so rough after all.
Time for my final swing thought. We've all known that Henrik Stenson has been a major ball striker. He struggled with the putter. In fact, this year on the PGA Tour, he's 152nd in strokes gained putting. Well, you know what? Over the weekend at the Open, he had 25 and a half putts average per day. I want you to make your weakness a strength. Get out there, work on your putting, work on your short game if that's what's keeping you back. Get into the bunker, work on that, improve that stuff. And I promise you that's going to help you. Go see a PGA professional. I'm Michael Breed. We'll see you next time.
School. In fact, this is the most important and the best, probably. It has to have to be the same, I guess, I would think, because it got me to where I am now, and that was in 1985. Come to the last hole, drive it dead right, rattles around the pine trees, kicks back out in the rough. It's usually like a driver and a 5-iron hole. I got a 3-wood, so I hit a 3-wood just short of the front of the green. The 9th and 18th holes were double green, so 9th hole was here, tier, down to the 18th hole. Pin was just over that tier, so I'm standing in front about 50, 60 feet from the hole. Grab a 7-iron, go, chip, it's rolling up, goes right around the back of the hole, falls in.
Oh, wow.
So I would say that that was my most important shot, because if I don't make that, I'm not in the finals at Tour School, and as you know, I may never have made it. I don't know.
You may have been responsible for my haircut.
Right.
This is a show about major drills. We're learning from major champions, and not just any champions, people who've won championships at least twice. Drills, images, thoughts, feelings that the best of the rest have left for us, to a roadmap to follow. I'm really, really up for this show, just in case you didn't realize.
Martin is really excited, as
I
am I,
am.
Martin. But how about you tell us some of those names of the major champions
Yeah, well,
we're going
let's
to learn
see who
from?
we got Tiger Woods, we got Phil Mickelson, we got Lee Trevino, we got Gary Player,
Zach
we got
Johnson.
Nick Faldo down there, Rory, Tom. We got loads of them, and we're actually going to start off with a drill from this man here, Nicky Price. What a great ball striker. He finally got his hands on the Open Championship at Turnberry in Scotland. Fantastic eagle at 17. Let's go over onto the hitting set. This is a drill that I understand Nick Price absolutely wore a couple of clubs out doing. I almost said he loved doing it. I'm not sure he loved doing it. He needed to do it.
Okay.
Like a lot of good players, Nick Price, wonderful player when he was 16, 17, 18. But when he missed it, he would hook it. Now, this is a drill he did with David Ledbetter by the... I've built a golfing career. 3 major tournament wins, 30 tournament wins around the world on my short game. From great shots on the 72nd hole at Carnoustie in 2007.
Ooh, that needs to get down quick. Beautiful.
To a spectacular winning pitch at the 2005 Honda Classic.
Wow, does he clip that well?
I'm Padraig Harrington. This is my short game special.
Opening round of the Travelers Championship, where the day belonged to Jordan Spieth, playing the Travelers for the first time. Spieth, great approach on 18, would make birdie here for a 63. That is the lowest first-round score of Jordan Spieth's career on the PGA Tour. Jordan Spieth in the lead at the Travelers, and Golf Central is on the air.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
It was an absolutely perfect day in Cromwell, Connecticut. TPC, River Highlands in all its glory sees a 63 by the guy the tens of thousands of fans that showed up came to see. Jordan Spieth, 7 under, 1-shot lead after the opening round of the Travelers. And with that, we welcome you as Golf Central live on the road here in Cromwell, Connecticut, TPC River Highlands. And boy, what a day we received, not only by Jordan Spieth, but by the fans and the crowds and the weather here. Just a spectacular one. Ryan Burr with 2 PGA Tour winners, Brandel Chambly, and the 1977 winner of the Travelers Championship, Billy Kratzert.
He's not letting that go.
That's right. You shot 66, 66. A little nervy going into Saturday, then you shot 64. BK, you still got it.
You guys have done too much research.
How about the day from Jordan Spieth, Billy?
Just a spectacular day. And Jordan, the rhythm that he had today, Brandel and I were commenting on his rhythm with the driver, the irons. He saw a few putts go in the hole today. Shooting 63 in the afternoon, clearly the best round. He's led the tour in greens and regulation this year. Finally, the putter woke up because he said earlier in the week that he can only remember 1 or 2 times, 1 or 2 tournaments that the putter has actually shown up. But it showed up big time today.
It did, and it did exactly what you would expect to see in the first round. I say that this event is the anti-U.S. Open. I mean that in the nicest possible way. They have crowds here that are very similar to a U.S. Open. The golf course looks like you could host a U.S. Open on it, but the wounds that are inflicted at a U.S. Open are healed here. You come here and you remember, oh, wait, this is why I play the game, because it actually can be fun. The U.S. Open is not meant to be fun. This is meant to be fun, and Jordan made it fun for everybody.
Oh, by the way, the last competitive round before today here at the Travelers,
Jim Furyk shot a 58, the lowest round ever.
Blew up today. Completely blew up today. I mean, 9 shots higher today.
He only shot 3 under. Let's get to Jordan Spieth's day, as it was incredible from the get-go. Got off to the hot start, Billy. We picked Jordan up at the 7th. He's already 3 under.
Well, he let the par 5 slide, Ryan. Did not birdie that, but this one would have gone in a thimble. That was beautiful.
So Jordan 4 under, going to 8, the par 3.
That's right, and this is no picnic, the par 3 8. It's over 200 yards. The whole location's on the left. There's bogeys waiting if you miss the green to the left, or even double bogeys if big to the left. And this is just a beautiful little trap draw. You can see that there's not a lot of wind out there, and the course is in fabulous condition.
It makes sense.
That's right.
To get to 5 under. A little hiccup here at 9.
Got it up and down out of the bunker on number 5, the par 3. Hit a pretty good bunker shot from that front right bunker, but didn't convert. He would make the turn at -4.
How about the short game, Brandel?
Well, he was licking his chops with his wedge into this green. The second he hit it, he knew that he had pulled it, hit it a little long. But the good news is you can be aggressive to hole locations, and the reason he is because he has a short game to lean on should he miss.
Now the 13th, the par 5, going for it 2.
This was special right here. You see the little swing, the little cutoff right there, the divot with the fairway wood? Watch this one, 225. Ooh, let me massage that one in there. And he would have that left for eagle.
15 of 18 in greens and regulation. Brent, you always talk about the incredible iron player, but this is where, in 2015, we all came to love Jordan Spieth.
Well, that's right. You know, he hits so many iron shots in the 15 to 20-foot range, and at his best, well, nobody can stay with him, and that's what he was today. And here he is, not disappointing at the home hole.
Just love the tempo of the golf swing. 140 yards, money, money, money.
Well, how do you shoot a low score on the PGA Tour? How about 7 approach shots inside 15 feet for Jordan Spieth? And I like his chances to have a good week. You can see when he gets off to a good start, generally, it puts him in pretty good position over the years. As Jordan Spieth now just one of 3 players to begin this event with an opening round 63. Spieth knows he got off to a nice start.
Absolutely, yeah. Really solid start. Got things off kicking early, first couple holes, and being 3 under through 4. You know, that it helps you walk a little easier. It helps kind of the shots that you're playing throughout the round. You don't have to feel like you have to take as many chances. And I was able to play away from some pins when I was in a little bit of trouble. Holes like number 7 and then number 8, where I could work it kind of into from where I was. And got a few putts to go. They were very close. Even the ones that missed today were very close, which is very exciting going forward.
Is this what you were talking about yesterday when you talked about you just needed a round where you started to see them fall?
Yeah, and I thought, I got the question, what did Sunday at the Open do when it really didn't matter much? And I thought that was a round just like this. I thought I played as well or even better in that round than I did today, and that kind of showed me that things are where I think they are. I just had a couple putts go. I had a couple putts go in there early. I birdied the first 2 holes with 2 made putts on Sunday at the Open, similar to today's round. So, yeah, it was nice. You're not going to shoot 7 under every round. It's just not going to be possible out here, and I recognize that. So it's about waiting for my chances to come the same way that we did it today, and keep hitting good putts. If they just miss, then tap them in. Don't be too aggressive on the greens. That's where you get in trouble.
What do you think this would be your kind of course coming into the week, and what have you found since you've been here?
Yeah, I had no idea until we kind of got on the grounds, and I saw Michael on Tuesday before we played any holes, and he goes, "This course is tailor-made for you," is what he said. And we got out there in the back 9, and I love the back 9. I think it's a very exciting 9 holes of golf, one of the coolest stretches that we play, where anything can happen. So that's good and bad when you're leading. Again, yeah, I thought it was a really good golf course for us. You kind of maneuver the ball both ways. You got to kind of watch out for, you got some clearings where the wind affects it more than other times where you're kind of in the valleys. But overall, Poa annua greens historically aren't my best, and so today was a big confidence boost. The rest of the golf course I really love. The greens are just tough.
From that standpoint, is it maybe a little more important than a usual Thursday round for you?
No, I didn't.
Drop and that sort of thing?
No, I didn't think so, because I felt similar for a month or 2 months now. It's just kind of been You know, I felt like the more rounds I've played, the less I've needed it as bad. And I didn't feel that way at all today. I thought, you know, if we play, I'm going to do what I've been doing tee to green. That's the idea. Stay focused tee to green, and don't try and do too much out here, because you get yourself 15 putts. You know, like I said yesterday, you get yourself 15 putts, they're bound to go in at some point.
At 63, ties Jordan's best score worldwide this year, as he is in pursuit of his 10th career win on the PGA Tour. He turns 24 later this year. You know, Billy, he mentioned talked about Sunday at the U.S. Open at Erin Hills when he shot that 69 in really tough conditions. And thought maybe he found something. What'd you see in his rhythm today?
Well, I saw the transition of the golf swing was very smooth. There was never a rush moment in the golf swing, which I think is key for these players. Brandel and I can go up and down the range and see when a player has a great transition. This is the tee shot at 13. I mean, everything is synced up. The hips lead the downswing, and everything is just absolutely perfect. He posts up on the left-hand side, and the result was a perfect tee shot, right center, and he had 225 left to this par 5. So, yeah. So when you see a guy swinging like that, Brandel, you just kind of get that feeling that everything's going to go well.
And if there's ever going to be a place where you're going to get quick, it'd be 13 tee.
Oh.
It's very easy to get quick off that tee. You're a little elevated. The water's to the right. You want to bleed one down the right center if you can. It's so easy to get quick, cut it off.
Yeah, you got a little Oscar over there to
and
the
you
left.
Got out of
you got
bounds,
a little Hazard over to
out of
the
bounds
right.
to the left. You know, rhythm means so much. It sort of helps things together. Only one player in this entire field was better than Jordan Spieth. Strokes gained tee to green. So that speaks to the comprehensive nature of his game all the way through to the green. But on the greens is really one of the areas where he's been a different player this year. And to whatever extent he's been held back on the greens. He said in his press conference just the other day that lately he's been trying to be too perfect with his stroke. He's been so worried about the face control and matching it to his path and his setup. And he wants to get back to feel, where he can forget about all those things and concentrate on the line and the speed. He wasn't as good as he's ever been here, but he was good enough on the greens to go out there and sort of match up, compliment with ball striking.
You know, he was at his best. Big question was, would look at the ball?
Well, he did both.
And it seems to have moved away from, is he going to do that? So he's really good at a lot of different things.
One of the things I think went the whole helped him was, if you look at some putters of the last 15 years, his little thing you shouldn't do. Luke Donald and Steve Stricker both rotate their head through, almost like David Ball on a full shot or Annika Simpson on a full shot. They both rotate their head, and it sort of rounds off and arcs off to the left, and the toe closes. Luke Donald and Steve Stricker are amazing on the greens, absolutely amazing, consistent. And Jordan Spieth in 2015, the toe did release a little bit more, and it looks to me like the heel is almost sort of beating the toe to the ball and sort of dragging down the line, and there's not a clear enough release. We're going to do a breakdown on this tomorrow. We'll take a deeper look at it tomorrow. But in general, these are the type of things that can be reduced or eliminated with just feel and letting your arms sort of relax a little bit, and they'll naturally want to relax and release. Or maybe he'd go back to looking at the hole and helping him sort of round off that stroke.
No doubt. We will much more on Jordan Spieth's incredible round throughout the program. Let's get to some of the other highlights, and there are plenty here. Round one of the Travelers Championship. We mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Jeff Furyk was here. It was 50.
He started opening round on the back nine, par 3, whole location on that right-hand side, 162 yards. Really a good 8-iron for Furyk there. Makes birdie.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a chance down with Sean Ashton, on PGA Tour, and he said, Jimmy, wow. He said, nobody does it.
你永远不懂我伤悲，像白天不懂夜的黑。哎，你好吗 ？Hello， 我是大青蛙。呱呱呱呱呱呱呱呱呱呱！你好，我是大青蛙。我没有当过大青蛙，你永远不知道他们的教导你有多酸。没有当过大青蛙，你永远不知道他们的教导你有多酸。 谢谢。
似乎有人在里面，靠着一双嘴和不要脸气讨人们上他一碗面。要不要我们就你出来？
要不要我们就你出来？
他说不用不用，反正今晚也是只有那么一小点，不如关在里面，像是天天喝酒醉。这里似乎有人在里面，靠着一双嘴可不要脸气讨人们上他一碗面。要不要我们就你出来？他说不用不用，反正今晚也是只有那么一小点，不如关在里面，像是天天喝酒醉。你真的井底之蛙，哦，井底之蛙。
答，请你爱体谅我。我酒量无，莫甲我创空。时间一天一天一天在走，汗一滴一滴一滴在流。有一天咱拢老，带无行斗阵，浪子回头。龙子回头。可爱的、缘投的朋友，稳妥的、无面的、无路用的朋友。条命的朋友啊，斗阵来搏，阮一支一支一支在点酒，一杯一杯一杯在打，请你爱体谅我，我酒量无好，莫甲我创空，时间一天一天一天在走，汗一滴一滴一滴在流。带无行斗阵，浪子回头。
笑，不要笑。阮一支一支一支在点，酒一杯一杯一杯在倒，请你爱体谅我，我酒量无好，莫甲我创空，时间在走，汗一滴一滴一滴在流，有一天咱拢老。带无行斗阵，阮一支一支一支在点酒，一杯一杯一杯在打，请你爱体谅我，我酒量无好，莫甲我创空，时间 是吗？走啦，出去走走吧，抽几根烟，作罢。哭啦，浪费时间啊，那就别哭。笑吧，那就笑吧，假装已寂寞，反正原谅本来就是想象。大声笑吧，就笑得可怕，笑得发慌，不愿见到你哭，所以假装。我会哭泣吗？反正结果本来就该长这样，常常在后悔，深深后悔，那就像在哭之前。那都笑吧，假装已遗忘，反正原谅本来就是想象。大声笑，笑得可怕，笑得发慌，不愿见到你哭，所以假装。
I've got to get this one up quick or else it's going to hurt.
I hope you get this up quick.
Well, I do too, because there's other factors that are involved.
This is for the Golf Channel. I hope you understand this.
How much tequila did you have to pour into Dave Peltz to get him to stand still while you hit that lob wedge over him?
So he wanted to do it, and you know, he's 6'6".
I know.
6'7". He's a tall man. It's not like just any old lob shot will do. The one at Colonial was the perfect scenario because you have to have the perfect ground. And what's interesting is that I need firm ground to hit that. Now, with that firm ground runs the risk of catching it slightly thin. That would be bad.
No, that would be bad. Yeah, well, not for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my friends coming out tonight. Oh, my friends coming out tonight. Oh, my friends coming out tonight. We take it loose and then we make it right. Woo-hoo! Oh, my friends, they love to get down. They come from all the small, small towns. Nobody stays home, nobody stays still. Everybody's inside, everybody gets a feel. Oh, my friends coming out tonight. Oh, my friends coming out tonight. Oh, my friends coming out tonight. We take it loose and then we make it right.
Well, you can get the latest news, scores, and live stream all of your favorite tournaments all in one place with the Golf Channel app. Download it for free and start streaming today.
The 1980s. Drugs and money. U.S. customs agents and Pablo Escobar's Colombian cartel. All coming together at a golf course for an infiltration at Innisbrook.
I had climbed through this portal of reality into this underworld at such a level that no other undercover agent was ever going to get there again. Even if it meant losing one's life, if it was for the mission, it was something that had to be potentially on the table.
Describe the pervasiveness of the Colombian cartel in the 80s and who the key players were.
The strongest cartel was centered around Medellin, which we've all heard of, which was the Ochoas and the Escobars. Most of the drugs that were brought into the United States were brought in through Florida.
Describe what Operation Sea Chase was.
Sea Chase was a money laundering case initiated by the United States Customs Service. And what we did was launder money for the Colombian cartels.
It was to identify the beneficial owners of this money, to get as close to them as you could, and to record conversations that would be used to prosecute them.
My name is Steve Cook. I was the first-line supervisor for the Operation Sea Chase. We had to start an investigation into the actual drug line to cartel the drug dealers and then win their favor and their trust and then get their money and then go find a financial institution to launder that money.
My name is Robert Mazer, and I was an undercover agent in Operation Sea Chase using the name of Robert Musella. Robert Musella was an Italian-American organized crime associate who laundered money for the mob.
My name is Emir Abreu, one of the two lead undercover agents on Sea Chase. My assumed name was Emilio Dominguez. I was the primary dealing with the bad guys in the street.
I became a conduit to the financial markets for the cartel and wound up dealing with some fairly large financial institutions that were intentionally involved in the laundering of drug proceeds.
This is a two-man team. Bob deals with the bankers. That's not my forte. I cannot even balance my checkbook.
It was a long journey from getting $50,000 every couple of weeks to ultimately getting $1 million, $2 million a day. It took about 2 years to get to that point. And in the end, we had the evidence that supported the indictment of around 100 people, drug traffickers and money launderers.
We knew we had to take down the case. We thought that we needed to plan it around an event that we could draw these people to the United States.
There was a female agent that we had working, Kathy Ertz. She suggested, how about a wedding?
Because of the apparent personal friendships between the Musella character and a lot of these people, that people would come to a supposed wedding.
We thought in terms of a nice big carrot to offer the bad guys. Come to Innisbrook and stay for a week if you like.
To have this as the setting for the final scene, did you ever think that a place like Innisbrook Golf Resort would be where this kind of came to a head?
You offer somebody an invitation to a public campground for a wedding, they might not show up. You offer them a week in Innisbrook. Come on. They want to bring guests. It was hectic. There was probably over 100 people involved in that. We had agents disguised as chauffeur drivers. We had a very elaborate pool party with a full bar.
The people who were sitting at the tranquil pool area with the string quartet had no idea what was buzzing behind closed doors. As the evening went on, one of the informants who played the role of my cousin went around to each of the people to be arrested and said, Bob doesn't know this, but we're going to have a bachelor party tonight.
The takedown wasn't going to be done here. For security reasons, we couldn't allow that to happen.
Each one was put on a separate limo with 2 or 3 people they thought were family and friends. They were actually part of the arrest team.
They all jumped in their limos and headed for downtown Tampa.
After that, I went home. I think I slept for a full 24 hours.
Good evening. Money, big money drives the international drug trade, and today, U.S. authorities went after an international bank they say operated a huge money laundering operation for some of the most notorious smugglers, including Panama's General Noriega.
The game is over. We had accomplished our task. Proud? I'm always will be proud of C-Chase because not too many people have been blessed to do this type of job. And I'm at peace with the work we did.
29 years later, the story of Robert Mazur and his team lives on in history as one of the biggest undercover busts to this day. And it all came together at Innisbrook Resort. The word infiltrator will never be the same.
A golf tournament is not a sprint. Generally speaking, it's a 4-day steeplechase that requires a mental stamina, the type in which I was more often than not lacking. Match play, though, is a different discipline, which coincidentally I have never had much of either. But the 18-hole match is a shorter test, one in which the lesser player often has more of a chance, and therefore I always liked it.
We have a major upset.
Perhaps it was the cut and thrust, the give and take, or the more instant gratification that appealed to me. But more importantly, I always felt it was an opportunity to be genuinely annoying, like I was back in school. I was far from being the cleverest boy in the room, but every now and then I'd say something just smart or stupid enough to gobsmack the teacher. This is not unlike the man who scrapes together 6 scabby pars in a row to be all square with the player who's hit 6 greens and 2-putted them all. Then Captain Annoying tops one onto the front edge of the next and makes the putt from 60 feet to go 1 up. Or is he? You see, I think not. If you mix in the annoying factor, I think this is more like 2 up. Nothing hoists you a wedgie like some idiot scraping it around while you're busy being windswept and majestic and getting nowhere. But that's golf. And politics, apparently. It's exactly the same as boxing, except you're not getting punched, which means it's not actually like boxing at all. You're in control of the fight, dancing around some bumbling mug, when all of a sudden he catches you with an accidental uppercut to the giblets and down you go, making noises only the referee's dog can hear. Sure, you beat the count and you're still the favourite, but now it's a different match, especially for the crowd who are suddenly behind the underdog. Just like my classmates used to root for me when I had our teacher against the ropes. Match play gives that underdog a fighting chance, at least for 1 match at a time. So whether you're in the ring fighting a southpaw, on the course going head-to-head with Jason Day, or interrupting history class to drive Mrs. Geddes crazy, it's not necessarily about being the best. You just want to make sure you're still standing when the bell rings.
I've got to get this one up quick or else it's going to hurt.
I hope you get this up quick.
Well, I do too, because there's other factors that are involved.
This is for the Golf Channel. I hope you understand this.
How much tequila did you have to pour into Dave Peltz to get him to stand still while you hit that lob wedge over him?
So he wanted to do it. And you know, he's 6'6".
I know.
6'7". He's a tall man. It's not like just any old lob shot will do. The one at Colonial was the perfect scenario because you have to have the perfect ground. And what's interesting is that I need firm ground to hit that. Now, with that firm ground runs the risk of catching it slightly thin. That would be bad.
No, that would be bad. Yeah, well, not for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I went around and it took me days. Well, let's not get to, you know, I put my arms up in the air like it's over, and he says he would never hurt a fly as this fly buzzes around. It wouldn't hurt them. Meanwhile, I'd like to crush it, okay?
Yeah, so would I.
Maybe it's because Phil came dressed like Shaft. But this show had an intruder.
Let me get that little sucker. Where is it? Don't move.
Go on. Not moving.
And he wasn't just a housefly. This sucker was a super fly.
Hold on, don't move. Is it on your jacket? Oh no, it's right in front of you. Hold on, don't move. Got him. There he is.
You did?
Yeah.
Dead. Die, you little bastard.
Yeah.
You almost broke my nose, but you know.
Toughen up.
Yeah, really.
That fly is one dead mother.
Oh, my friend's coming out tonight. Oh, my friend's coming out tonight. Oh, my friend's coming out tonight. We take it loose, and then we make it alright. Woo-hoo! Oh, my friends, they love to get down. They come from all the small, small towns. Nobody stays home, nobody stays still. Everybody's inside, everybody gets a feel. All my friends coming out tonight. All my friends coming out tonight.
1980s. Drugs and money, U.S. customs agents, and Pablo Escobar's Colombian cartel, all coming together at a golf course for an infiltration at Innisbrook.
I had climbed through this portal of reality into this underworld at such a level that no other undercover agent was ever going to get there again. Even if it meant losing one's life, if it was for the mission, it was something that had to be potentially on the table.
Describe the pervasiveness of the Colombian cartel in the 80s and who the key players were.
The strongest cartel was centered around Medellin, which we've all heard of, which was the Ochoas and the Escobars. Most of the drugs that were brought into the United States were brought in through Florida.
Describe what Operation Sea Chase was.
Sea Chase was a money laundering case initiated by the United States Customs Service. And what we did was launder money for the Colombian cartels.
It was to identify the beneficial owners of this money, to get as close to them as you could, and to record conversations that would be used to prosecute them.
My name is Steve Cook. I was the first-line supervisor for the Operation Sea Case. We had to start an investigation into the actual drug line, to cartel the drug dealers, and then win their favor and their trust, and then get their money, and then go find a financial institution to launder that money.
My name is Robert Mazer, and I was an undercover agent in Operation Sea Chase using the name of Robert Musella. Robert Musella was an Italian-American organized crime associate who laundered money for the mob.
My name is Emir Abreu.
隆隆的音乐，累不累？脑袋清醒的半夜，今日非今天，我要喝醉了，家住哪里要往前一夜，不要挡在我前面。我厌倦这样的生活，我厌倦这样的生活，我厌倦这样的生活，我厌倦，我厌倦，我厌倦这样的生活，这样的生活，这样的生活。谢谢。
在每一个人的心里面都有一张放款的老照片，我叫它橘色的风，因为每个人脸就像吹着橘色的风，代表你最珍贵的回忆。这首歌叫《橘色的风》。
让风带走，留下永远。
过，就不会再停留。眼泪和笑容，轻轻地在挥霍。那个地方有橘色的风，转身之后才发现是那么汹涌。